know anybody that lives in Maryland or anywhere else, we are looking for volunteers up there as well. So next slide. So I am part of the resident services team. AHC has resident services staff at most of our properties that are supporting the residents in the buildings where they live. So we help with food distribution programs, rental assistance, and education programs. Our education programs are just awesome. And that's where we use the bulk of our volunteers. So the programs are year round. We are doing elementary school 4 days a week, teens 2 to 3 nights a week. And then we'll have summer camp, both for the elementary school students and for the teens. These are programs that we do in the buildings where the students live. So it's easy for them to get to. They come, they sign up to come for the whole year. So they are building relationships with our staff. They are building relationships with the volunteers who help them. I'm not going to talk as much about the programs for the elementary school students and teens right now because we're getting towards the end of the school year, but we always need volunteers. So if that is more your interest, I'll send out a bunch of information after this, and I would very much welcome your help with one of those programs. And if you're available during the summer or know high school or college age student who's looking for something to do during the summer, our summer camps are a lot of fun and we need volunteers to help with those as well. So I am going to, next slide, turn this over to my coworker, Gabby, who's the manager of our college and career readiness program.
Thank you, Laura. Hey, everyone. My name is Gabby. And as Laura said, I'm the CCR manager. So just to give you all a little overview of what the program is about, we offer one-on-one mentoring. So that's where you all come in. You get paired with one student for the entire school year, and you pretty much work with them throughout the entire college application process. So whether they're a junior, you kind of help them get familiarized with what college is about, what it takes to get into college. And then if you're paired with a senior, you work with them throughout the entire application process. So writing college essays, getting transcripts, applying to scholarships, standardized test prep, all that. We also do college visits and field trips and workshops. So here's a picture of us at Georgetown University. We went to like 2 weeks ago. It was really awesome, really fun. And we also invite our mentors to come on those trips as well. So that's a really cool opportunity for you all. We also do a lot of career exploration events. Last year, we had a career panel with Amazon members. So a bunch of Amazon folks came to talk to our students about their career journeys and what it took to get to where they are now. We also got to talk to some students in the master's program at Georgetown this past 2 weeks ago. So we also learned about their career journeys and how they got into the positions that they're in now. Last year, we had a graduating class of 31 seniors, and they were offered over $3 million in scholarships. So our students are really hardworking students, and they're always achieving for success. This year, we actually have 42 seniors graduating and going to college in the fall, and they have earned $6 million in scholarships and gift aid. So double from last year, a lot of success, and we're really, really proud of our students. So if you have any questions about that, I'm happy to answer, but I'm going to pass it on to the next slide and give it to my coworker, Anna.
Okay, sorry, I was having a hard time finding the unmute button. So I'm Anna, and I am the College and Career Readiness Coordinator. I work under Gabby, and we work together to put this program together. Like Gabby was mentioning, volunteering with the College and Career Readiness Program is a very flexible opportunity where you can really make it your own with the student. We offer the one-on-one mentoring opportunity where you get paired with a single student and you meet with them between 1 or 4 times a month, depending on the student's needs. The student needs means for a senior, that's probably going to be weekly or bi-weekly, especially during college application season from like September till January. If you're meeting with a junior, especially at the beginning of the year, is going to be maybe like once a month. If you have a really good relationship, it's going to be twice a month. But it's going to be really just whatever you wanted to make it. It's also flexible in the way that you can meet with the student however you want, in person or virtually. We have noticed that the students like the virtual option because it doesn't require them to travel anywhere. But they're always happy to maybe grab some lunch or meet their mentors virtually. You can also make it a hybrid, whatever you need. We do offer the mentoring program for the 2022-2023 school year is going to begin in the summer. So July 14 is going to be the orientation. You will hopefully be matched by August, like late August, and then you will begin working with your student for the full year. A lot of our mentors say that it is a really enriching experience, and we have, I think this program has mentors that come for, I think, about 5 years at this point, and every year they keep returning because, well, if you mentor a junior, usually they stay to mentor them throughout the senior year. And also if they mentor a senior, they love to get a junior and do it all over again for the next 2 years. But again, it's like very flexible, whatever you want to make it. We also are looking to volunteers to support our summer. So if you are not comfortable or you don't know if you're going to be able to make the whole school year commitment, we have opportunities this summer from July 19th to August 11th. We're going to be conducting our summer college readiness boot camp for juniors and seniors. So it will be Tuesdays and Thursdays nights from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. And we're going to need several ways that you can support. So there's going to be a couple of nights where we're going to need a bunch of volunteers to do resume reviews, interview helping, or doing networking kind of roundtables. And that's going to be just one night out of your summer. Or if you want to do it several nights, that's totally fine. Or if you can lead a workshop for us. So if you are an expert on something, so if you're an expert on resume building, or you are an expert on interview skills, or if you are just so good at LinkedIn, we would love to have you lead a workshop and actually teach your students these skills. We are also looking kind of like for more informal volunteers for a couple of events for orientation. And then the closing of the summer, we would like to have a cookout, and we are looking for maybe a person who can grill. So there's a lot of ways that you can volunteer with the College and Career Readiness program. In fact, if you have an idea, feel free to let us know. If you're like, oh, like I could do X or Y, we're always open to any kind of workshops or things that you can offer either over the summer or also in the fall. So in the school year, we offer workshops as well for, college and career preparedness. So if there's a workshop that you have for us that you want to propose, we are always welcome those ideas. Or if you want our students to visit your place of work, or if you want to get a couple of your colleagues together and present something for the students, that's also an option. Yeah, so I guess like while we take a couple of questions, feel free to read what the students say about their mentors and the difference that they make in their lives. There's definitely nothing like the one-on-one connection that you can make with the student. But then again, even students who don't have a specific mentor, or mentors who don't have a specific student, are able to build relationships through, just networking with our students as part of that community.
So I'm pretty interested in this program, but I know right now that I'm not available on July 15th. We've got a pre-planned vacation that week. I'm hoping that there's a way to work around that.
Yeah, We are usually recruiting mentors and students from now until I want to say like late September. So I think it's a possibility that we can do a fall orientation as well. And it is always recorded. We can always give you a call for that, like orientation information.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty experienced in some of this stuff. I did a lot of it in New York, helping kids get themselves their college applications written. You know, FAFSA, trying to figure out what public schools are, things like that.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, our orientation, it's really just mostly to talk about kind of the parameters and boundaries that we work at AHC Inc., which is kind of like the important stuff that we have to go through. And then just, kind of get to know other mentors so that you also just network and find opportunities that way. But
I just wanted to throw in at the end of this call, I am going to send an email to everybody that attended, first to say thank you for attending. And then we have made just a very short form so that you can let us know, I'm interested in mentoring for the full year. I'm interested in doing a workshop or other, if you're interested in anything else. And we'll have our email addresses. So we will send you ways to get in touch with us. And let us know if you'd like to help. Are there any other questions now?
I had a question. How do we do, so I know that we need to do a background check. If we've already done a background check before, like say for work or something like that, could we use that, or do we still need to go through that process?
Yeah, so I see your email, Kate. We use Sterling Volunteers. So if you have done a background check through Sterling Volunteers, you'll be able to link to us. I know a lot of federal workers and teachers have done much more extensive background checks, but if it is with a different system, my apologies, but we will need you to do it through our system. It's pretty simple. I send you a link. I think it's got 4 questions in it, and then it gets back to me within 24 hours. So hopefully it's simple to you. The other requirements, we do require all of our volunteers to be vaccinated for COVID. So I ask for everybody to send me a photo of their vaccine card, and then we have a kind of an application, some things to questionnaires to get to know you, but the 2 requirements are the background check and the COVID vaccine. And I can send that out in the email as well, all of those steps. If you're just going to be helping us one time in the summer, you won't need to do that. But if we're going to match you with a student, we do need you to do all of that.
So what kind of resources are available for things like the different colleges that might be available that are more expensive and less expensive? One of the things that was clear in New York was, I was in New York City, and the city college system was very cost effective, and then there was a state university system. Is there material like that for Virginia and other places? Because obviously those are very important issues as students are trying to figure out what college they might go to.
Anna, you might be on mute again.
I'm somebody's muted, not me.
can you hear me?
There we go.
Okay. For our students, there are a lot of state schools that, I don't know, Virginia has that thing about it, that a lot of the state schools are actually, top tier universities. So there's a lot of financial aid. Completing the FAFSA, we say, is the most important. And we also have a very robust community college with the Northern Virginia Community College program, and then they can transfer. And then there's, let's see, there's this resource. This is, this website gives the students every year a book called Opportunities. We share the book with them. We have some in our office, they also have it online. And this is kind of specific for students from Virginia, and then it breaks down everything they need to know to get ready for college. I think it's one of the best resources that we've seen for the students. Let me see if I can find the Opportunities Guide and Workbook. You can always find everything there. It breaks it down financially, it breaks down the college choices. But yeah, that's.
And another thing I can say about Gabby and Anna is they are a wealth of resources. And so we do the orientation for mentors, and then we'll have some trainings. We did one last year about essay writing, and we recorded that, but I'm sure we'll do that again. Anna has made this very cool Google Docs spreadsheet thing with like every resource that you could possibly need. So they do an excellent job of supporting you. So we are not matching people and then saying, all right, see you at the end of the year, tell us your good news. We're giving a lot of support through the process. Yeah, look at this thing. This is so cool. So it's a lot of information, a lot of links. So are there other questions?
Yeah, I had another question. If I do my background check now, would it be in time for me to do volunteering?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, kind of our timeline is we have, obviously the seniors are finishing and we have juniors that are enrolled. And hopefully their mentors will stay with them as they become seniors. For sure, we'll end up having more seniors join the class, and then we'll have juniors. And the juniors trickle in a little bit because they might not see the urgency of starting to think about college, the summer before their junior year. So we encourage them to join early. And we would love it if that's what happened and we had all our mentors and the matches were like ready to go right in July. But that might not be that hasn't happened yet. So if you get your application stuff in as a volunteer soon, you'll get matched sooner, but we continue to need people, adding people in through the fall.
I also want to add that I'm sure you all may know this, but working with teenagers can be really hard sometimes. But going through this entire experience with them and teaching them about college and their opportunities after high school is really rewarding because you start day one and they don't know anything. And then at the end of your year together or 2 years together, they have a full ride and going to college. And it's really amazing. It's a really great process. There are ups and downs, but it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, and I would say that the one-time volunteer opportunities are really meaningful. Also, the career fair that these Georgetown Business School students put on. So that was, a one-day commitment for them, except for the organizer who did more than one day. But for the other people, they showed up and just talking about their experiences. And our students had good questions like, what were some of the things that you struggled with in college and what supports did you find? And it was just so clearly exposing them to things they hadn't quite thought about yet. And they were happy to have people these people were in business school. So they were relatively young, and it was just a fantastic event. So as a year-long mentor, you're having a great impact, but doing a one-day event is very impactful as well. All right, anybody else have questions?
So quick question, are all of the students opting into this, or is this required participation? Are these people who have self-selected and are excited about going to college, or is there some sales involved too?
I'd say it's a mixture of both. We have some students that have come to us saying they want to join the program, or they hear from their friends and that makes them want to join the program. The beginning of recruitment, we look at our students that live at our properties, and we go to them, we meet with them, and we explain the whole program, like what takes place. And then it's up to them whether they want to become part of the program or not. So we do try to sell it as best as we can.
And there is a small,
But there's nobody being forced.
there's
No.
a small
This isn't a
enrollment fee.
requirement for anything. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, no one's being forced. You know, the help is there and we make it known. And if they want to take it, they can take it. If not, then it's okay.
And we have one student that's joining the Marines this year. That's right.
Yeah.
So, so for the most part, it is students that are focused on getting into college, but we would support people in whatever their next step is. And so it's exciting for that student.
Yeah, well, one thing that's important is that kids are told that they should go off to college, and some aren't quite ready. And making the decision to not go right away and do something else until they are ready can be a really important and appropriate life decision.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. We have 2 students this year who are taking a gap year. One of them wants to travel the United States and just explore. And that's totally fine. We're there to help them in any way we can.
All right. Other questions?
I have another question. Does AHC, do they provide resources for students that are interested in doing things like traveling? Do they like guide them into that direction? Or is it only like focused on college?
I can take on that one. So our program, it's focused on preparedness for their journey after high school. So because it's a lot easier and it's kind of in our expertise to provide resources for college, we mostly do that. However, we're always working on like expanding our system of resources for students who not only want to travel, but also students who want to do any trade or want to do other things. So we're also, kind of welcoming of any resources of that sort. I think the focus of AHC Inc. and just overall our educational programs is to give the students the tools for, upward social mobility, which usually is achieved through higher education, but it's kind of more about giving the students the confidence, the skills to succeed after they graduate high school. So that can mean anything. And we're just constantly on the works about how we can provide those resources for them. So we're also welcoming of any sort of other ways and tools that volunteers and other people can bring.
Thanks, Anna. That was Johanna. I had a similar question, less on the travel, but also on the workforce front. Again, especially right now with such shortages in so many employee bases and workforce in Arlington and the region and really in the country, that a lot of opportunities with certificate programs or apprenticeship programs and things like that as well. So it's great that you all are open to that as options for your students too.
Yeah, and again, if you have any sort of trainings or stuff like that, we are always welcome. We share with them a couple, but it's also sometimes hard to get those resources since we are kind of on the higher education side. So it's kind of hard to get those connections. So we're always open to get those resources and share that with our students. Like we have identified them as the ones who are like, oh, maybe college is not for them, and we try to connect them. So for sure.
Wonderful. And also on a one-off basis, if you have individual students like that who are interested in a particular industry, feel free to reach out to us at the chamber and we can help connect them with opportunities in that field and with people who might be able to help, guide them for their particular circumstances as well. Back to the specific mentorship, for the juniors and seniors, that's terrific. Is there any either formal or informal support for the students going to college once they're actually in college? And do you all track what their graduation rate looks like and how things go for them once they are in college?
Yeah, we follow up with our students 6 years after they graduate from the program with us. So we're always checking in with our graduates. I believe the very first class of this program is graduating college this year. So yeah, it's a big turnout. So we're always checking in with them, just making sure that they're okay. And we also have students reach back out when they need help with like FAFSA or looking for scholarships. So yeah, our help doesn't stop right after high school.
It's awesome. And have you seen, especially with that first class that's now graduating, I'm curious if, and you might not know this, they might not have to share this or choose to share this, but do you know if for the most part, if they're keeping in touch with their mentors or if those relationships really are more of the finite 2 years and then the mentor moves on to the next student?
Yeah, I think there are many mentors that keep in touch with them. I wasn't here when that first class was there, but I know that the relationships do grow stronger, and they build really strong bonds. So the relationship does follow after high school. And the mentors, they grow really fond of the students and the students with the mentors. So yeah, they never want to break that relationship.
It's awesome. Actually, as you're saying that, I'm realizing that I think it was actually through AHC that somebody I know mentored a student who ultimately we hired for a part-time temporary position here and would have kept her, but she had other opportunity and circumstances and things. So I do actually know firsthand that some of your mentors that ran into them just on the street by Bayou one day, and they said, "Oh, this is my mentee from AHC." That it's now those connections are now making for me.
Yeah, it's special.
Yeah, that's neat. We
Yeah,
had
right. I believe Tyrone Sims was one of your mentors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Then it definitely is. That's great.
Yeah, we had a statistic and I forgot to include it in the slideshow this time, but so let's say that the number is 75% and it's somewhere around there, the number of students that start college and then finish college. So it's not 100%, but let's say it's 75%. And then for first generation college students, which is what our students are for the most part, the number is below 50% are finishing college, but the number of our students who are finishing college is right up. It's actually was like 1 percentage point higher than the overall number. So it was like 76% were finishing college. I think that speaks to kind of the support that they got getting into it and making a good decision going in, and some of the informal support that they continue to get kind of gets them on track with other students.
Right.
So
and how motivated they were. They're a subset that's highly motivated.
Yes. That is true as well. So I have to add that back into the slideshow.
Yeah. We also have mentors bringing other students to our program. So I think our 5th year mentor that we were celebrating, she was mentoring a student that graduated. She's still in touch with them. And now she's mentoring her brother. So her brother had heard about the program, didn't join until she told him about it. And so now she's mentoring him. And I think we have another situation like that. I think maybe like with another student that mentored their cousin and now they're mentoring, a senior who is about to graduate and they're still all in touch. So it just also mentors have formed a relationship with the family as well. So yeah.
Are there other questions?